This conference will now be recorded.
Disha, what is our last class?
We did the break and continue iterations like
So, which
the
means we
pattern.
done the all control statements, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would like to introduce one more thing. Mm, math 4, it's not math 4. URL. Mm-hmm. Okay, I forgot that website actually. Okay, so which is having a lot of good questions. So, yes, fine. So, as of now, we were done the control statements, right? Now, today we are going to talking about functions, Python programming language functions. Okay, so guys, if we were done the function concepts, which means that almost 50% of the Python programming language has finished. Okay, so today we are going to talking about so Python functions and 04 2022 and Python functions. So when we are talking about Python programming language functions, so guys, what is function? First, try to understand what is function. So what is function? Simply, function is nothing but it's a subprogram. It's not a program, it's a subprogram in a main program. It is a it is a block in a program. It is a block in a program, okay, or you can say that it's a subprogram in a program. It's a subprogram in a program, okay. See, so what exactly the definition? So simply you can say it's a function is nothing but it's a block of statements or set of instructions in a program that we are calling it's a block of statements or else subprogram in a program, okay. Simply we can say that function means it's a collection of statements, okay, to performing the any one of the specific task, any one of the specific task, okay, any one of the specific task in a program. In a program we are able to go for performing the any one of the specific tasks. For that one you're collecting some kind of statements that we are calling it's a functions, right? So why we require the functions? So program means it is also a collection of programs, right? So collection of statements, right? So it is also performing any one of the specific tasks. Why we required some block of statements in a program? So why we need functions? Why we need functions? The functions we require, it's 100% pretty sure. The reason is that, so for example, one program, for example, when you're working with one program, which is not performing only one task, it can be performing one big task, but the particular task which is having there are multiple sub tasks are there, okay? It may have the lot of multiple, it may contains the one program, it might be contains the multiple subtask it can performing, okay. When you're combining this all that we are calling it same a function. And one more thing, so when you're writing the program without any blocks, if you're writing the program in one by one, okay, if you're not using any blocks and other stuff, if you're just writing the program statement by statement, that particular situation, the code size, it can be increased a lot. Code size is more, it can be it will be little bigger program, okay. Code size is more if without functions. Without functions, if I'm not using the function, the code size is more, okay. If the code size is more, it's a very tough to debug, and it's a very tough to modify the code where we are getting some error, okay. And so that's very tough actually, okay. When we are divide the program in sub blocks, okay. Conquer, it's a divide and conquer rule we are going to apply. Divide the program into sub blocks, so that what block is is doing, which block is doing one, any which performing which task. So if you know it, then if you're facing any issue, we, instead of modifying the entire program, so which block we are facing a problem, so we are going to be working with that particular block only, okay. Is it clear or not? So when we dividing the program into different sub blocks, then it's easy to manage the program, okay. It's easy to modify the program, it's easy to update the program, okay. If you want to add any new features also, it could be very easy for us, okay. And moreover, so one particular task or one particular sub block or one particular subtask, so it may be repeated or iterated. It may be do more than 3 or 4 times same task. One subtask, if you want to be performing the multiple times, so same program, if we want to be performing the multiple times in a same program, then if you write one particular block, whenever we require, we can simply call it actually. We don't need to write the entire logic. You just defining the program in one place, and whenever we require that particular service, we can use it without any writing the program, without writing any kind of huge program, okay. Is it clear? So when you do these all things, the code maintenance, it could be easy for us. So basically, what are the functions we have in Python? Not only Python, in any programming language. What are the programs? What are the type of functions we have? So basically, there are two types of functions we have it. What are those? User defined functions.
And predefined.
Of course, it's a predefined functions. So can you list me some predefined functions? Input. Input is the predefined function, and print is the predefined functions, and the type is the predefined function. We seen these all functions or not? And id is the predefined function, and we seen int function, we seen float function, and we seen no bool function, something like this, right? We seen chr function, we seen ord function, and we seen no bin function, we seen x function, something like we've seen many functions actually. These all functions are, we are just using, we are not implemented. So if you want to read the data from the keyboard, we are going to be using input function. If you want to display the data on a monitor, then we are going to be using the print function. If you want to know the data type, then we are going to be using the type function, right? So these all functions are already defined in Python. So whenever we require that particular resource, we just use this function call and we are executing this particular service, right? Clear? So whether it is a predefined function, whether it is the user defined function, it doesn't matter. There are two components are there. How many components? There are two functional components. There are two functional components. One is the function definition. Second one is the a function call. Okay. So function definition. means, see, whatever the task you want to be performing, that particular task logic we should maintain as a block. Okay, function definition means it's a block of statements. Block of statements we should write as one particular a function. Okay, block of statements for a task. So you have to maintain some block of statements to performing any one of the tasks. So that we are calling it a function definition. And but when even you're defining this particular function definition, it won't be executed. So when it can be executed, if and only if for execution of the function definition, for execution of the function definition, then we can use the a function call. I hope you got my point. So you have to defining some particular block of statements as a function, but even it won't be executed if and only if when you call whenever we require. Okay, then only the function definition can be executed. See, if you want to be execute this block of statements, make sure that we should have the a function call. Clear? See how this particular syntax will be looks like this, and def is the keyword. So with help of the def keyword, we can defining the function. Okay, so def followed by the, so the name you can mention anything. So here the function name and colon symbol, and so here we should write the task statements. How many number of statements you want to write as a one block, you can write that all statements in this particular block only. So this is the way you can defining the functions in a program. Okay, so if you want to be call this particular function definition, if you want to execute this particular task, then we should use the function call, right? Function call means it's a very simple thing. Function name and open parenthesis and close the parenthesis. This thing we are calling it as a function a definition. Is there any question, guys?
No questions, sir.
No questions? Smita and Joshna, Krishna Chaitanya, Pooja.
Clear, sir.
Okay, please note this particular syntax for the function definition and function call. I just wait for some time. Once it is done, please let me know.
Done, sir.
Okay. Okay. So for understanding of this particular small function definition and function call, let's do a small program. Write a program for understanding the function. Okay. So I would like to go for defining the function definition. Definition of the function. Okay, we are going to be defining the function with the help of the def keyword. And for example, I want to do the addition of two numbers, so that you're calling the addition function. For example, addition which requires the two inputs or not. So for example, I would like to take the input from the user. So this is my task. Addition is my operation. So enter int. So meanwhile, I would like to take the second input variable. So this is my second input variable. See, I have the two input variables are there, x and y. I would like to go for performing the addition, which is x plus y, and I would like to go for print the and addition of that one, x plus y equal to, okay, and you're going to be printing the c value. So this is my function. See, you just execute this one. You won't get any output actually. Okay, 1,000 times we can write it, 1,000 times we can execute it. It won't performing any task actually. Okay, so this is just a collection of some statements. It won't be performing any task without calling, right? After you defining this particular function, I want to be performing the addition of two numbers. That's my requirement in future. After I'm printing some operation, for example, I'm printing the hello here, and after that one, I want to be performing the addition. Then you can print it. You can just call the function addition function. This is the function call, guys. This is the function call. So see, actually, these are the statements. It won't be executed, and directly it was executed the seventh statement. Once seventh statement execution is completed, then it will be go for the eighth statement. So eighth statement is function call, so that the cursor is stops here and it is going to this particular block. What are the statements we have it here? This all statements can be executed. After execution of this all statements, wherever it is called, it will be back to over here. Okay, so after the addition function call, we have the I function is there, sorry, I statement is there, so it can be printing. If you want to be execute one more time, I want to be call, okay, same function. So different situations, maybe same function we require, okay, same operation you want to be performing. So here, first statement is allow is printing, and so because of this is my function definition, it won't be executed, and seventh was executed, so that it is printing the hello. And now when the eighth statement is executed and the cursor is moving to this 3 to 6 statements, so here which we are entering the 34 into the x and 45 into the y, and which is performing the addition of x plus y. The result we are holding into the c, and you are printing the x, y, and equal to symbol plus symbol and the c value, right? So we are getting the same result or not? After servicing of this function call successfully, wherever it is called, after this particular function call, what is the statements we have it that it can be executed. So here we are executing the high, so we are getting hello again, we are getting output is something like high. Okay, after that one, we called one more time the same function again, which is executing this particular logic only, but this time my x value is 89 and my y value, for example, of 40. Then 129 is my result. See, you're not writing the statements here. So if you write these four statements, this eighth position and the ninth position, here the code size was increased or not if you're not using the functions. Same program I can do without functions. Same program I can do without functions. Okay, so instead of calling this thing, what I can do, okay, so I'm just commenting this one, or else I can removing this one. So you are your x, and you are taking the y, and you're doing the addition. Again the same task you want to repeat one more time, then you just call it. Okay, see here, which is 11 lines. For example, I want to repeat one more time. After some. Okay, so here what happens? Here 17 statements, right? See, Three times you're calling the, three times you're executing addition operation. Three times you're executing the addition operation, right? So here we have the 17 lines of code we got it. So for example, same code, I want to same for operation I want to be performing, but so here what happens? The code size is little less when you're comparing with the previous program or not. When we are comparing the previous program, okay, here we have a 17 lines of code is there, but when comes to here, we have only 12 lines of code we have it. Is this my, is this my point is clear or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just execute this one. Same thing which is performing. Three times you're calling the addition function. Three additions are there. Okay. So there we are not using the, there we are not using the function. See, for example, unfortunately, if you made some mistake, you're copying and pasting, right? If you made a mistake in one line, so basically in other lines also can be affected, right? Because of your copying and pasting, right? So just a minute. So if for that one, if we go for the functions concept, that it could be easy for us actually. Okay, can you note this particular program? I just wait for some time. Hello. Is this program is done?
Yes, sir.
So as of now, this is fine. So here we are not sending any kind of data while you're calling the function, and after execution of the function also you're not returning anything actually. Okay. See, to send the data from the function call to function definition, that we are calling it say arguments. Here arguments are used for sending the data from function call to definition. Function call to definition, then we can use the arguments. So I just want to take it this particular program only. So very small programs will try to understood initially, then we can look for the some big examples. So here addition, you have a function, and here default x and y data is there. So this x data and y data I don't want to write over here. Okay. So this x I need as an input from the user, or else I need the input from the function call. So for example, here I'm sending the a and the b. So before you calling, you should defining the a and b actually. So try to observe here what happens here. So this is my function definition. This is my function definition. Okay. It requires the two inputs because of you defining the arguments inside of the parenthesis. So x will be the first element of the function call, y will be the second element, will be storing the from the function call actually. Okay. So when you're calling the function, so from here you have to send the data. So here you're going to be sending the data is a and b, but you don't know what could be the value of a, so that you should enter from here, that you should enter from the b from here. Okay. So this is fine, both are variables only. For example, if you want to be call the if you want to call the addition function, but this time I can send the constants. So which means this is the 10 will be holding into the x variable, and this is the 20 will be holding into the y variable. Okay. So for example, some situations, what happens, we can use the expressions as well. So when we are doing some expression, for example, a into b, so this is my so this is one operation. First, this operation will be performing. First, we are taking the a data and b data, and this a value and b value, whatever we have it, that it can be doing the multiplication. This multiplication result will be holding into the x variable. And for example, you can performing, some operation a power of 2. So here this is one expression or operation. This result of this particular expression can be holding into the y variable. Okay, let's execute this small example. So here a value is, for example, 12, and b value, for example, 3. Okay, see, a value is 12, right, and b value is the 3, right? So that for initially x and y could be 12 and 3. So you're sending the a comma b, which means a value will where a is holding into the x, b is holding in y. So that so we are printing the x and y is something like 12 and 3, and you're getting the result is a 15. For next addition function call, you're sending the constant 10 and 20. 10 will be holding into the x, and y will be 20 will be holding into the y. So that we are getting the result is 10 plus 20 equal to 30. But here this is a into b. That means 12 into 3, how much? It's a 36, right? The 36 will be holding into the x, and a power of 2. That means 12 power of 2. It's 144. 144 will be holding into the y. So 36 into 36 plus 144, it's a 180. So that you're getting the 180 as a result. Okay. This is the way you can send the data from the function call to a function definition. I hope you clear my point.
Yes, sir.
Just note this example. Guys, we can note this one. We'll catch up tomorrow for continuation of the functional concepts. So we'll finish it function by tomorrow. Okay. See you.
Sir,
Yep.
sir, can you upload this video today? I was in journey, so unable to hear it properly.
Sure. I will do that.
Okay.
Smita,
Thank
do you
you.
want to talk anything? Smita and any other one? Is there
No,
any?
sir.
Okay, fine. Bye, guys. See you.
Thank you, sir.